Today the mama fox brought home a rat for the babies. That's our underground den there, that's the stump on top of it. And so there's these fox pups are directly underneath that stump that we were just looking at. And they've heard mama signal to them that she's coming. So they're excited and expecting her, and she's brought in that rat for them. Everybody gets very hyper and excited, and you see some tail wagging going on there, and mom's proud and has done a good job for the day there. Here in just a minute, one of the babies is going to take the rat and kind of run around with it and see if he can keep the others from getting it. And you know, it seems to be kind of a learning thing for them, that they learn to, you know, hunt this way, at least so it's said. And here mom goes snooping around, and one of the little ones follows her, and not sure what she's looking for, but they're just kind of exploring around in the den. They had just moved into this den a couple of days before this. They're wild. These are wild gray foxes. They come here every year, so we know to put up, to put cameras in there. And this is shot with night vision. Even though it's daytime, there's very, very little light under there. So that's why we had the black and white image, because it's shot with night vision. And here mom's kind of cleaning up one of the pups, and now she's going to leave and go outside and hang out for a little bit, because she's delivered her rat, and the pups can hang out inside and mess around with the rat a little bit. And here we see mom hop up on the tree stump that's right up on top. It's just about 2 or 3 feet directly above those pups inside the den. And now we'll go back inside here and see that, a little tug of war going on. Anything that sticks out is to be pulled on, according to the pups here. And so they're exploring around a little bit, and there's another room back to our left here as we're looking back to the left of the camera, and a couple of them are sort of checking out the camera here and just seeing what's going on, because like I say, they're brand new to this den, and they can't see very well in there because it's actually pretty dark. So after mom has left them, they kind of get a little bit more playful, and they start exploring more, and a little bit of messing around with each other and biting on each other and biting the roots that are under there, under that, under the tree, and just sort of looking around and seeing what they can find to get into. One interesting thing about the underground den here is that since it's underground, it can get wet. In fact, it can get really wet, and it can get completely submerged like an underground cave, which it's done before. And about a year before these shots were taken here, there was a time when we got a lot of rain, and the field flooded where this den is located, and the den completely filled up with water. And we had not pulled our cameras out, and they completely submerged, and amazingly, they survived. I got to hand it to the manufacturers on that they did a fine job of waterproofing on the things. But it can be a challenge to take care of the gear here, because it stays out there all the time. And really, we had the camera gear under this particular den for 2 years before these foxes came. We knew that they would come eventually, but they skipped a year after we put in the cameras. So it's been a while, and they've been very, very welcome here. They stayed about 2 weeks at this age, and then they moved away for a few days, as they often do, and then they came back for another 2 weeks, and we have video of that. Which has been really satisfying that they came back. They're gone again now after that 2 weeks, and I sort of doubt that they'll come back. And speaking of wet things here, you'll see this little fox pup is having a good long pee. They're inside the den. Doesn't sound like that great an idea, but it is apparently the way it's done. Among multiple species that we've seen inside dens, they pretty much utilize the inside of the den as a bathroom. So they deal with it and go back over and crawl all over mom's face there. They love to bite and play on mama. And then at the very end of the segment here, not this one, but a little bit in just a minute here, we're going to see mama call the babies in, and a couple of them are cooperative with that, but one of them, she goes and coaxes it in, and then it runs off again, and so she gets a little more demanding about it, and you can see her dragging it in here in just a moment, where the little pup's got the brakes on, but she's going to drag him in anyway.